body needs, and it
Hmm.
kind of gives it to you, and you are also saying that thank you. Ma'am, one more thing, because you spoke about it. um, I know it's not related with the death thing, but because of the soil thing that you spoke about, normally they say if you are using crystals, it's better to put them in the moonlight, or immerse them in soil to recharge them. How truthful is it?
It is absolutely true. Why? Because when we keep the crystals, because crystals have gone from the womb of Mother Earth, and if the crystal is broken, if the crystal, there is some sort of healing that the crystal requires, or the crystal is already taken so much of energy, and you need to renew the energy of the crystal, then the best thing is to make this crystal child meet the mother. So the Mother Earth is again going to take the crystal in the womb, and she is going to renew it and revitalize that. So you can do that. And especially the broken crystals are there. If there is a broken crystal, so what you can do is you can put it for a month at least with the Mother Earth. So for
Okay.
example, from this full moon to the next full moon, you can just keep the crystal under the womb of Mother Earth. You can do that, and after that you just tell Mother Earth to heal the crystals. So yeah, that is absolutely true. It
And for
heals.
normal crystals, also 1 month, or just a moon day to moon, full moon, next moon, full moon?
Depending upon how your intuition is telling you that how much crystal has accumulated the negative energy. If the crystal is broken into two pieces, then 1 month or more than 1 month. If not, if the energies are like okayish, I mean fine, then probably you can just put it for 15 days or 10 days. Or if not, if you feel that no, I want the child to meet with the mother, so only 1 day is okay. So it again renews and revitalizes the crystal.
Okay,
So
ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Anuji, please. Sharu, I mean
Okay, Sharuji,
Sharu,
thank you.
Sharu, Sharu. Oh, Sharu, Sharu, Sharu.
It's like
Okay.
Amitabh Bachchan telling us, call me Amit ji. Call
No,
me Amit.
Sharu.
How can? Okay,
Sharu is
Sharu.
good. Sharu is
Okay.
good. I'm
Okay.
happy with that. Yeah, okay. So let's start with the session, which is a very important in my life, has been always. So first question that I'm throwing at all of you, because it's a very, very, you can say, a word that I think everybody would like to and would love to define. So I just want everybody to tell me, please raise the hands, and everybody to tell me, how do you define, or in one word, what is the meaning of death for you? There is a lot of buzz around it right now after Patriji left the physical body. So I just want to know, please take off your veils and your masks completely. Be very honest here, that what do you think death for you is, in just one word?
You're continuing your journey in other worlds.
Okay, so
Or
Anuji said
yeah,
onward journey. You are saying continuous journey. Balaji is saying transition. Anu is saying real. Okay.
It is a separation temporarily from the people you loved, family or friends, whoever you have lost.
Okay.
The physical
Okay.
separation for time being.
Separation. Great. Oh, Arpita. Hi. Arpita, it's nice to see you here today. So Arpita said mission accomplished. Oh, okay. Okay, great. And Archana is saying reality. Great. Good. Lakshmi ji is saying all the above. Great, nice. Okay, okay. I love these words. I love these words. Transition, reality, separation, mission accomplished. These are such wonderful words that you guys are using. So I'm really very happy. Okay.
That is the only thing that is certain in life.
Okay. So, okay. So how do you put it? Something
Inevitable.
certain. Inevitable. Yes. Inevitable. Yes. Inevitable. Yes. Great. Great. Okay. So, okay, Sumati ji is saying again the ongoing journey. Okay. Okay. Mhm. Has anybody, now I have seen all these things, and you have in one word defined also that. I just want to know one thing. Has anybody felt fear? Ram sir, you haven't said. No, Ram sir, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Ram sir didn't say anything. More alive. Oh, yes. Yes. Okay, great. I love that. More alive. Yes. So, did anybody feel the fear?
No,
Please be honest with me. Please do not say that we are in
No.
VSSM and we are so
No.
strong and we have learned so much from the masters. I'm just talking about we as normal human meditators, beings who will go through certain experiences in life. Okay, so Ranjani ji says, definitely, as you are scared of leaving behind everything we have known to an unknown world. Yes. Great. Great. So now, another thing. Okay, Anuji is saying result card probably. Okay, so your result card in the sense that once you go for that journey and when you are reviewing your life, that is the kind of result card that you're scared of, Anuji? Okay.
I
Okay.
think about my next one.
You think about your next one. Wow, that's great.
Yeah, I'm scared of my next one. I'm okay here.
Okay. Oh, great. Oh, great. Okay. So anybody, yes, Sumati ji. Yes.
Thank you, Sharuji. Sharoo. Yeah. Without a mask, if I have to see my loved ones, I'll be honest, it will be, I don't know, it'd be too much for me.
Mhm.
Although I know what the journey entails, it will rock me. It will, but then if it's me, my own journey, I'm aware of it, I will be very pleased to look forward to the next phase of my journey and evolvement. But if it's my loved ones, yes, I'm aware. I'll be very honest with you. I'm aware everything is fine, but I think I will be shaken, hand on heart. Although I know everything.
Great.
Because it's the absence of the physical entity.
Yes.
Because to be honest with you, I believe having lost mom and brother, I can connect with them instantaneously or faster than they were existing in Mother Earth, but still the absence of the physical entity, in sensory and motor area. Yeah.
Thank you, Sumati ji, for being so honest and so authentic in your approach towards this word, death. So I'm really thankful to all of you. Another question that I'm throwing at all of you is, most of the people, especially this, when we are talking about the meditation group here, everybody is saying, since Patriji left the body, it's being called as a beginning, it's called an end. So what do you think about that? Is it a beginning or is it an end? What is it?
it is a beginning.
Okay, Maltiji, you say it's a beginning. Beginning of what?
Beginning of a new journey for the soul. For the soul.
Okay. Okay.
The soul,
Higher purpose.
the soul decides, okay, what it wants to do next. It makes the choices. So I say it's the beginning.
Okay. So, okay, it's the beginning. So Ranjani ji also says that it is the beginning for us to continue his mission. Okay.
It's
so
higher responsibilities, Sharuji.
Ji, higher responsibilities. Okay, Anuji is saying there is no beginning or end, just a different planet, different work, different births, but different task. Yes, absolutely. There is no beginning or end. There was one question in one of the sessions that was being thrown at me, and that lady, that girl, she asked me that why do we always have to look at it as a beginning? Why can't we just say that it's an end? So can you please, all of you, throw some light on that? Why can't we see death as an end? Why we always say that it's a beginning, it's a beginning? Why do we always have to say that? Why can't we see that, okay, death is a death is an end? Why don't we see it as an end? I want to know, I want to understand that.
Because we are a conscious being, which is eternal, uh, exists all the time.
The soul knows the peace.
That exists all the time. Okay, so suppose there is a person who's next to you who's not a meditator and who's just lost somebody. Will you be able to tell that person that it's a beginning? Or will that be an end for that person?
Sharuji,
Ji.
as I've mentioned, I don't know. Only the soul knows the truth and the phase it's going at, beginning or end. But to a friend, I would just listen and be there and support. But if a question is posed to me, why this happened or what has happened, then I would be very sensible. If he or she is not a meditator, to say that, and if that person is a God believer, it's all God's plan. And we are all here to support you. At that moment of time, I would only think of being a spinal cord to them, because they're not in a position to listen to any wisdom of ours. That's what I feel.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Sharoo, I have three things that I do. Maybe it sounds pretentious, but if the people who are aware, and because it has happened in the past 3 years, given COVID, and I've lost many close friends and things like that in COVID and due to accidents and things like that. If the person is aware and you know that they won't mince or get your words wrong, you wish the soul best of journey, truly wishing the soul best of journey, and you be there still with the people and tell them, like, yeah, the assignment, not, we don't use such surgical words, but the work on in this life was over and it's predetermined, and that's what. But the people who are not, I mean, you just be there, as ma'am said, and try to just see if they need anything during that time for the transition, for the people who are left behind. That's what is hurtful for the people who are left behind, right? So yeah, no wisdom words or nothing like that. You don't want to ruffle anyone, because that time the extremely people, family, they cannot take that wisdom at that time. Nothing will make sense. Maybe later, if they are seeking that kind of a what next, that time it may help. Third is, if there is completely unaware and you know it is, you just say, yeah, it's sorry for your loss. I'm just saying it's based on situations, because it's really, you can't, I mean, it's a reaction that if you have to tell the other family or things, you just be there for them. That's it. Because this is something, everyone's in a own journey. You can't just say, hey, come out of it, But if you see someone, like, I have to say this, in the beam session itself, it was a separate session where we were talking about someone. It was a different meditation. It was probably a book session, but a lady who had lost someone 25 years back, and she was still carrying that weight. I couldn't stop telling her that, I think it's high time you have to leave it. I mean, I wasn't trying to act, but it was high time that someone guided her that, please do know about it and read it, and let this weigh weight, release this weight and release this guilt, and so many things associated with that. It's just not a in singularity, right? The events, the memories, and so many things. So I'm just saying it depends on the situation. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Anuji. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, because they are very, as Archana ji is also saying, that they are very vulnerable. Yes, we have to see what it is. But I'm going to come back to myself later. But first, I would love to listen to Raksha ji. Yes, Raksha ji.
Hi, Sharoo ji. I think for me, I think beginning and end both are same. For a new beginning to happen, something has to end, and for something to end, yeah, when it ends, something begins, and when it's both are the same. Depends what we want to look at it as. Even for a friend, it's true for them as well that a era of something has ended and a new era is going to begin. Depending upon how they feel, we got to. Some of them will be ready to start quickly their new life. Maybe to them we might have to talk about the new beginning, or someone might be taking some time trying to end the last cycle. So
great,
we might have to
absolutely Raksha ji. It is the beginning and it is the end as well. It is just not the beginning, it is also the end. Because when we say the end means the end of, sometimes it's the ego, that we leave behind. It's the ego, not only the ego, but with the physical body, there are a lot of things that we also leave behind. We just end it there. And then sometimes, yes, as you said, that some people are also able to work on their karmic cycle and baggages, and it is their last incarnation, and they just leave that behind. They end that cycle, and then they just move on. So yes, for me also, the death is the beginning and the end. But honest confession here, so what happened, I'm just going to tell you my experience, and then after that I'm going to ask all of you to share yours as well. So my dad's death, yes, as you know, all of you, that 2019 I lost him. And it was the biggest journey of my life, because I had learned a lot of things through his death, and he took me to different dimensions to give me a lot of clarity that he did, and he gave me. And I came out of it very strong. And yes, to an extent I was vulnerable, but I came out very strong and courageous, because I was having an understanding of death. And I kept moving on, thinking that yes, I am now strong, I know what death is, and I will be able to face that situation whenever it comes with anybody. So when Patriji was breathing his last, and it was during my session itself on Friday, when we got to know a little bit of hint of Patriji's not keeping up well. I was just about to finish my session when this news came, and it was basically 3 or 4 months back that Patriji had already, in one of his visions, one of my visions, he had come over, and I saw him on the deathbed, and he was asking this question to the Lord of Light beings, and I was there as an observer, and he said that, for how long will it go? So at that time, I was also going through my own struggles in life, and I just thought maybe he's asking this question to me. I did not know that he actually meant literally that how long is it going to go. So it was, few months before the death. And after that, his, you can say his health was deteriorating. So I was kind of prepared. I thought that I'm prepared, because I knew what was coming, because there were a lot of visions that were telling me that, okay, he is not going to be there physically with you. So start detaching yourself from his physical self and physical body. Try to just connect with him astrally, so that when the time comes, you will not feel the way you will otherwise feel. So I was like, yeah, I'll be able to do it. I am very strong. I can do that. And the day on Friday, when we got to know about that, that was on, I think, 21st or 22nd, 22nd maybe. So I was in the session, we got this a little bit of news, and there was something that shook me from inside, that the day has come, that kind of a thing. And immediately from Friday, I started meditating and I started connecting with the Patriji's energy, his astral energy, and the light beings. And I knew, and there was this wrenching feeling inside of me that I'm going to lose him now. So the kind of strength that I had brought from my dad's time, 2019 till 2022, again, it was being tested by the angels and the light beings, that how will I be able to, how will I act and respond or react in this particular moment? Have I learned something from that point, as I thought that I had learned? So the day came, 24th, and on 24th, when Patriji left the body, he during the Samadhi time, he also gave a lot of messages to me, because he had told me to keep Mauna for 3 days. So starting from Saturday, so Saturday I was in Mauna, Sunday I was in Mauna, and Monday I was in Mauna. So till his Samadhi time, I was supposed to be in Mauna, and I was supposed to get connected with him astrally. And I was still very, very, very confident that I'm going to make it. I'm going to do that. I'm going to accept everything. I'm going to be the person on earth who can, take this shock. But the time 24th, when, the date was also being, by the grace of angels, they had also told me, they were showing me number 6 again and again, and I could not figure out what was it, the time, was it the week, was it the day, what were they talking about? And then I got to know when Patriji left his body. So it was not the time, it was basically the day the angels were talking about, which was 24th. That means 2 + 4 is equal to 6. And when actually what happened was, 23rd at 6 p.m., I was just thinking that I'm going to lose him, because I was getting this message from the angels, number 6, number 6, number 6. A lot of number 6s were there, and I could see it everywhere in my visions. And I thought it's 6 p.m. on 23rd that I'm going to lose him. But it was like 6 p.m., the clock was ticking, and I was like, there was so much of fear inside of me. But it didn't happen. So what happened was, I started questioning my visions at that time, that are you crazy? Sir is absolutely fine. Because there was a message also coming across to me, which was telling me that Sharoo, sir is getting all right also, because there were people who were telling me that his health is little improving, and he's had some, drop of milk, and he's just nodding with people, looking at people. So he's improving. So when it came, I was like, okay, great. So that means my visions were not right. I was emotionally overreacting to everything. So I stopped and I started crying also, that how can you even think that Patriji is going to leave you? Completely discarding those visions which I was having 3 or 4 months back. So, and then all of a sudden in the meditation, Patriji came and he again said that I'm not leaving you anywhere. I'm going to be there with you. So when he said that, I was like, oh my God, the same thing is being replayed over here in my life, because the same thing my dad said before he was leaving. Because before he was leaving, everything was, he was like, he was on the deathbed, and everybody thought that he's going to go now. But all of a sudden, one day he woke up, he ate his food, and he was absolutely fine. He said, Sharoo, I'm going to talk to everybody, whosoever is there. He gave all the message to everyone, and everybody thought that he is absolutely fine. His vitals were also good. But the next day, after giving all the sessions, all the messages to all the relatives, all the loved ones, next day his vitals started again getting worse. And the same thing was happening with Patriji. He came, he was okay for some time. He talked, he gave his messages, whatever he wanted to, whatever, even in few words, or astrally, because he was giving a lot of messages. And he told me to be there with him till his Samadhi, because he had to give a very important message. So it was like, it was not that 23rd 6 p.m. It was 24th, because 2 plus 4 is 6, and the angels are telling me this is the day when he has chosen to leave the body. So 5-7 p.m. Patriji left the body. So 5 plus 7 is equal to, when we add that also, so it comes to number 3, and number 3 is the number of ascended master. So he was going into the realm, and the ascended master's number was there. That means, he has taken that position of being an ascended master now. Okay. And after that, at 6, I got the news, formal news, at about 6:46 p.m. again. Although he had already left the body, and when he left the body, I was meditating, and when I opened my eyes, I saw 6 birds completely flying, taking a flight towards the clouds. And I saw that happening. So that means I knew that Patriji has left the physical body, even if the news came to me at 6:46. Now, after that, I thought, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do everything. I'm going to not react. I'm not going to cry at all. I'm not a crybaby. I'm very strong. But the moment I saw his Mahasamadhi, the moment I just saw him there, I started crying. I started howling like anything. I could not accept what was going on, even if it was being told so many months back to me that he, physically he will no longer be there with you. But I was not able to accept that, and I kept crying like a small baby. And because he had told me to be in Mona also, I could not even, say anything to my kids, because the kids were coming and telling me that what is wrong, what is happening, because I knew that they are not going to understand anything. So it was such a bad state of mind. I was getting into that dark hole, because after he left his body, I was completely, my BP was completely down. It came down to 90/50, and I could not even, understand what was happening, because there were blackouts, and there were, I was completely on the bed. I didn't know what was wrong with me. And on the other hand, the angels were telling me that you have to take a grip on your own emotions. You have to come out of it. And it is very important for you to make it this time. And here Patriji was there, and he was holding my hand, and he was telling me that, yes. And trust me, friends, if you know me for past so many years, then you would know that I'm not faking it, because I'm not that kind of a person who will cook up a story, who will make a story just to be on the YouTube so that people could hear me, just to gain popularity. But this was actually happened. And there were certain snippets also, which I discussed with Ram Garu as well, after I was okay. So there were so many things, and I could not see at that time that wisdom which was there, that death is a beginning, death is not an end. Patriji is going to be there. Even though I wrote a big title that, you are, and you always will be with me and within me. I wrote that. But during that time, I was not able to understand that this was not getting into me. The only thing I knew was he has left me. He has abandoned me like any other person. So I was just like a lonely and abandoned child who was, sitting near the tree, under the tree, and crying that, my parent has left me. My father has again left me. Just the way he did it in 2019 when my biological father left me. Again, the same thing has happened here. So angels are, they have, they just took him from me. So these were the thoughts at that time. Can you just see that, even if I had that understanding that death is just the beginning, it is not an end, but still I went through that fear. I went through that feeling of loneliness and abandonment yet again. Then the healing process started. And it only started when I started accepting the things. When Patriji started sitting with me, and he made the promise along with my dad, when dad said that now he is going to be your spirit guide. Just like my Nanu did to me when my Nanu gave this torch, this responsibility to my dad when my dad left the body in 2019. So my Nanu gave that responsibility to my dad, and then dad gave the responsibility to Patrisi. That now this is your responsibility. And Patrisi said that I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm going to be with you, connected completely. And that was the time when I started accepting the fact that, okay, death is there, but it is just the physical death. I can still connect with him and the energies. I can still be with him. I can talk to him. He can talk to me. And God willing, by angels, by the grace of angels, I have that psychic ability through which I can get connected. So there's nothing to cry about. And even if I have cried, it's fine. It's just a part of the healing process. That's okay. And I accepted that no matter how much I'm going to cry, I'm going to do the healing. Even Patriji used to say, Rona hai, ro. He never used to say, don't cry. He always used to say, cry, because it is also a very important part of the healing process. And I cried. And when everything was out of my system completely, that was the time when I started accepting and seeing that, yes, death is not only an end, but it's also a beginning for me. So this is how I understood, because I was like a scared child. I was very fearful. I was frightened. Even after doing so much of meditation, even after, learning so many things, I was like, I asked myself and the angels that, don't you think so that I haven't evolved yet? Am I not still again back to the same thing where I started? So these were the questions that were coming, that I am the same. That fear, that, that thing is the same. But the angels always told me that this is a human nature. If somebody with whom you have attached yourself, if that somebody is going, obviously for some time you will face these kind of fears. But the thing is not that whether you have fear or not. Question is whether you are stuck with that fear or not. You were not stuck. You chose to come out of that fear, and you again came back onto that path as fast as possible. So that was my learning. That was my evolution. That was my path. But yes, I can say today that for me, death was not something that, Patuji's death did not come so easily. It was like, for me, it was a tug of war. There was so much that was happening. Not only here, there was so much happening there as well in that dimension. So, but accepting the truth of his death was very, 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 difficult for me. I could not accept it. But when I accepted it, finally, when it happened, I was all smiles. The way I'm smiling right now, I was very happy for this experience that the angels gave me. Patriji made me go through that experience because it was very important for my evolution as well. And I understood it. So it was a beautiful experience that I had in those days when, when I didn't talk. I was in Mon, I was in with Patriji, I was with a lot of light beings. I was in that dimension. So I was in such an awe of whatever was happening in that dimension. So today I'm happy. I'm happy because I'm a work in progress. I keep progressing. I don't believe in regressing. So I was progressing in that time also, although I doubted myself. I thought maybe I've regressed because of the experience that I was having. Because I was questioning myself, Sharoo, kya ho gaya? What about your learnings? What about your teachings? You used to teach people that, death is the beginning. What happened to those things? Abhi samne aaya to sab khatam. That ego self was there constantly pulling me down. But then, yes, the angels were there. And I chose to listen to them and the higher self. And I chose to listen to my spirit guides, especially Patriji. So I was able to get out of it. So this was my experience. And that's why I said that, for me, I thought for me, I have conquered. that word death, but I actually did not. I was a scared baby. I was very frightened, and I came out of that fright. So thankfully I did. So yes, so this was my experience about the entire word death. And I would request all of you, whosoever wants to now share your experience, if you have had any kind of an experience. I'm not just talking about the physical death. I'm also talking about the death of any kind of a relationship, death of any kind of a probably your ego, death of any kind of an emotion inside of you. If you've gone through any kind of a death, then please share your experience. I'm more than willing to listen. And if there is something that happened during the when Patriji was on his deathbed, when he was there, so if at that time there were some things that you experienced and you were having those emotions or something like that, so you can also share that. I'd be more than glad.
I just like to talk about my father-in-law and my father, both. My father-in-law was here in May, on holiday. And he called me and said, look, if you want me to do anything for you back in India, okay, just tell me now, because when you come on holiday during summer, I won't be there. Right? I said, where are you going? We always used to tease him. Where are you going? He said, I'm not going to be around. Okay. So I said, maybe you got a special ticket up there to go. And it was a joke in the family when he says that. And he went back and he was okay for a month or so. And then he turned around to my youngest brother-in-law and said, I want to visit all Krishna temple in the south. Every Krishna temple in the south, okay? My brother-in-law took him everywhere, but in the end, he was so tired that he said, I won't take you to Trivandrum where there is Padmanabha Swami, Vishnu temple. I'm not going to, because I'm far too tired to drive. So my sister-in-law said, I'll take you. Don't worry about that. And he took him there and they came back. And usually what he does is he gets the milk in the morning, right? He goes to the temple because the Krishna temple was opposite. And then he goes and gets the milk and boils the milk and then goes and wakes up my mother-in-law to make the coffee. Okay. So that particular day, he got the milk, he heated the milk and it boiled, kept it, and he said, I got a headache. And he went to bed. And then he started saying, every time I close my eyes, Krishna is saying, come with me. Come with me. It's your time to come with me now. Uh, just come with me. That went on for a few days, him saying that whenever he closes, it's Lord Krishna that he's saying. And then he went into coma. Okay. But he waited till my husband went there. He's the eldest. And he held his hand and he acknowledged his presence and he passed away. That was a great experience. Actually, he was seeing Lord Krishna all the time, calling him. And there was no fear of death there at all. Right? There was no fear of death with my father or with my father-in-law. And I don't have fear of death either. Death can be beautiful. And even now, sometimes I feel my father is sitting there. I get the feeling he's sitting there, and we used to tease him, God, he's sitting there now. We can't make any mistakes, okay? He'll be there saying, "How dare you do this? How dare you do that?" He was like a patriarch of of my family side of the family. So we were all the time we were joking all the 10 days about him, laughing. We we would go and sit in his chair, and then we used to say, "Get up! It's time. You can't sit in that chair. It is his chair, and he wants it." Okay, so we used to. It was a very happy send off. It was. There
Amazing.
wasn't any crying or any. It was a very very happy send off.
Mm.
And to me, that was a beautiful experience of.
Wow.
Mm,
Amazing.
mm.
Amazing, Maltiji. Amazing experience. Thank you so much. I mean, it's like, you're just making this word feel so light. It's like, it's nothing. It's just going to come and go. That's all. So
That's
yeah,
right.
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Maltiji. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. So anyone else?
Sharuchi, can I speak?
Ji,
Asanumja? Yeah,
ji.
so what you shared, first of all, thank you so much for sharing the process of you overcoming the separation with Patriji. It was really intense. I, I I feel I don't know how I used to deal with death before I knew about it. Was full of fear. The reason why I came into spirituality was just to know that I don't want to lose my parents. And the more I read near death experiences and things like that, I understood the process. But I have still seen that even after knowing the things, I have always reacted very differently on different deaths. As you said, like you feel, oh, you're prepared. When the end of something comes and you kind of think, okay, I can deal with it. But then I not just with death, I think any spiritual thing, I feel even with any other spiritual thing, the facts and the knowledge about is one thing, but to live that in human form, day by day, bit by bit, moment by moment, I find it a great challenge at times. It's great to know a certain wisdom and knowledge, though you see all of this, and us without seeing it, and we just trust the process. It's still very difficult to digest the things at times. So I'm just giving you an example. One of my friend was murdered literally, and I was able to overcome that thing because I was aware about it just within maybe couple of weeks. Versus when Nirbhaya case happened, and when she died, I don't know why, it just opened a floodgate of the torture that the woman had to go through. It was again a different kind of a grief. And then versus someone that you lose, right, an end of a thing or end of a even an era, right, or if you even let go of something, it takes its own toll, and the grieving process is so hard at times because these things are beyond your control. So no matter how many facts and whatever label we give death in terms of, it's still very raw and real and happening in the absence of that person, right? Like absence, I can't even imagine losing a parent, or some people lose their children. I mean, it's but so yeah, all these are theories. When it actually comes how it is, it's always different. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing what you shared about Patriji. I just want to say something, that what has changed me over the period, now I don't wait to go on people's termi, because that's something Hindu culture. When my husband or someone will say, oh, that one so and so has died, let's go there and pay our respects. I rather believe in meeting them when they're alive and kicking, and kind of expressing if there's any gratitude or thanks. That's the only thing I can do. So that's a voluntary change I've brought into myself. I want to meet them not in their grave, but I want to meet them when they're alive, make time for them then, rather than say all the good things after they're gone, even whatever it is, if there's whatever. So this is the change that I have made in myself. I'm very cautious, and these things are beyond our control. Everyone comes with a soul plan. Yeah, but it's a work in progress, I feel. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Anuji. Thank you so much for this, which reminds me of that quote of Guru Gopal Das, which I also quoted in one of my sessions, in which he says that, when we are born, everybody loves us. When we die, everybody loves us. And in between, nothing happens. So, it's a reminder basically that, before you lose anyone, it's better to be in the company of that person and to share your emotions with that person. You want to say, love you, I love you too. You can just go say to that person, it's better that you don't wait for that day to come when you will lose that person. So it's better that you try to cherish those moments that you can still have when that person is alive. So these words of Guru Gopal Das was really, really very heart-wrenching and very important and very inspiring as well. So thank you, Anuji, for doing this. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes. So anyone else? Ram sir, you're quiet. Yes. I want to hear. Yes.
It's in sync.
Okay. Okay.
Well, my journey to these things started, as far as I remember, first death I have come across was that of my grandma. So it was in the year 2004, and she was very close to me. And then when this had happened, I was at my workplace, I got a call, and then it's just 25 kilometers away. I still remember, I was feeling that loss. And as I traveled to the place where she was, I was completely absent. There was this emptiness that traveled with me. And then I arrived there, I did see everyone crying. And, the emotion had come out. So I also cried. And then later, just after some time, I realized, I don't know, I cannot say I realized, I somehow did not had any more tears, but I did not even have that emptiness or that sadness. So then we were in the burial ground, everything completed. So then later on, my journey into spirituality, let's say, went on to a realization of all these truths that we had been listening to. And then the next death I remember was that of my father's mom, so my other grandmom. So then that time I was in Togo, and I somehow felt that she's going to leave the body. And the day before, I tried to call my parents to talk to her. I could not reach them, so I could not talk to her. Then I went to bed. Somewhere in the middle of the night, I felt her presence. So I was wide awake, but I was still lying down on bed. And then we had kind of conversation of what is going to happen later to her. So it was almost a couple of hours of conversation that went on. Then she somehow was convinced, somehow was connected. Then she left. Then I could go back to sleep. I woke up in the morning only to realize my phone had few missed calls. When I called my parents back, then that was a confirmation exactly when I had felt her presence that she left her body. So that experience was a kind of, very realistic to me, that whatever fears I had with the knowledge I had, or let's say with the sharings I kept on hearing, books I kept on reading, and continuous listening from Patriji and every different master, was somehow helped me in that particular experience, right? And I never felt I'm going to have such experiences. I never expected, I never wanted to, somehow it happened. And then since then, yes, sometimes whenever, since then, I never said to anyone when I hear that they passed over, that sorry or condolences, sorry for your loss. I never felt like saying that. So I stopped saying that. Deep from within, it's just like when I go to a journey, they say happy journey. I do have this sense of feeling to them. Good, thank you for what all you have done. Happy journey. So then I do connect to those people who are near to them, and I just ask for strength to them in this time. And then I kind of have this feeling that very soon I wish that they connect to these realities, that they're always there. The physical presence is not there. Of course, we will miss them physically, but then their energy, their connection is always there. And I always wish that they come out of the pain, the suffering, or the feeling of loss, because I somehow understood that every time we have pain, we are pulling that energy back in a way that is not so pleasant to the soul which had passed over. So I always have this kind of thoughts to the family, thoughts to the person who had left. And when Patriji's, let's say, passing over had come, and on 22nd during that session, when we had first that message, so there was a kind of, no, it cannot be. And then, but deep inside me, there was no fear or panic or whatever. So yes, we had our calls or trying to understand what is happening. But then immediately, just few minutes later, there was this understanding or groundingness that if it is time, it is time. Yeah. So couple of days before, Madhu had an experience wherein she had said that, I feel like we need to go and see her. Okay, fine. And then the same night, she had a dream wherein she saw Patriji. He was in a room completely isolated from everything else, and then Madhu had seen him through a window, and then Patriji welcomed both of us and said, "Oh, I was waiting for you. You have come." So it was as if that he was receiving everyone. And when she shared this dream the next day, I said, "Okay, it's just like one of the dreams she continuously has." And that's good that you said you wanted to meet Patriji, and then here it happened in the dream. But then when the news came, it was clear that he was receiving everyone and connecting and then passing on whatever he needed to pass. So, yes, there were a couple of days of, I would not say sorrow. I would not say, any negative emotion. No, it was just like, there was a phase, like when you take a seed from a pot, and then you plant it onto a different pot. The plant has the life, but somehow it takes a little bit time, and you can see the leaves and flowers a little bit dull, and then it comes back to life in the new place. So there was this kind of phase, but however, it's very clear it was not of sadness or but there was a direct tool of such thing. And then intuitively, I was feeling continuously, there is a continuity. And then his presence will be even much more strongly present with each one of us, and strong guidance would be there. And so just being grateful for what all he had done into my life. It's such a great journey it had been with him. We were fortunate to spend so many days with him, thanks to our Egypt stay, that we could meet him for days and days every year. And then, it's a beautiful journey. So it's a great sense of, how do you say, great joy within that in this lifetime we could spend so many days with him. We could hear and listen to everything he had shared, and we had become what we are today out of everything that he had shared to all of us. And now I see that everyone is just a mirror image of himself. So we all are basically reflecting all these energies. So it was his very first sharing as well when he arrived in Egypt, that treat everyone like you treat me. So he was just giving all these messages every time that, why do you connect to the physical beingness? So that is what had happened. That is what was my learning. And you remember a couple of, let's say, a year ago or what, when we underwent together with Madhu this enlightenment on no-death sessions. So it was a continuous preparation. We had even underwent during this 1.5 year various pyramid masters who had passed over. Yeah. Shastri ji and Nanda Prasad ji, Prem Kumar ji, many other masters, right? And somehow we were all being prepared and prepared, prepared and prepared, prepared and prepared. And yes, so in the end, I am very grateful for this journey and for the presence of Patriji and his continuous presence. So thank you, Sharoo Garu, for taking this wonderful topic today, that you have come forward, shared your journey on this phase. That in the end, it is enlightening to each one of us that it is okay. It is okay, and it is okay. So thank you.
As you always say, all is well.
All is well.
Yes, you always say that all is well. Yeah. So yeah, all is well here in this dimension and that dimension and other worlds as well. All is well.
Yeah, all is well.
Yeah. Thank you, Ram Garu, for your journey, for your experience, for your beautiful, beautiful, valuable words. So it really touches the heart, and it really helps us learn so much more about you, about different masters, and about your journey with the word death. So I'm so glad, I'm so thankful that all of you shared today. I mean, it was like, I wanted all of you to come forward and share your journeys. Ji Swarna ji.
Yeah, thank you, Sharuji. Thank you. Beautiful topic and beautiful sharing, everyone. Yeah, even I have gone through this death situation when my dad passed away. And before that, I lost my brother-in-law. He was very younger than me, my sister's husband. So that was shock to me. So I was here in US. I couldn't go during that time, but that time my body was fully shaken. Even though I was a meditator, I couldn't accept that. And full 3 days, my body was like shake, like I was in somebody else's body. I felt like that, and I don't know. I thought like, why am I going through that? So it was very difficult situation. And my dad was a little bit going on and off. Then I went there to see my dad. At least I thought, okay, I should not lose my dad as well from here. So I went there and I stayed like 3 months with my dad. He was going is hospitalized, and he was a little bit going dull. But I was there. I served him and shared all those memories. He was there with him when he was bedridden and did. So yeah, as you said, like I was little bit, he was preparing for us, and I was like sitting in the meditation. He would ask me like, okay, when am I gonna get better and all, feeding and all those things I was gone through in each and every step during that last 1 month was very tough. So I would say that nobody, we have full house full of doctors. Nobody could identify what happened to me. You accept that, right? He said, yes, Dad. Yeah, no one can do anything. Only God will help us. God is there with us. Just let us pray, God. So I would sit in the meditation. I tell him, yeah, you also just close your eyes and I meditate for you and you meditate. Then that time I would sit beside him and meditated. So maybe that time I got a little bit strength. I go very deep with my dad beside. pray God that, yeah, you have given this body, and you know how to take him, safely, and that matter. So I would pray, and he would sit, and he would just quietly. So, and then he passed away. Then I was there. So I was glad that I was there with him that during last day, because that the day I supposed to leave to US. He told me, yeah, you leave that day, Saturday that was. And I prepared myself. I arranged all the things. And that day, the same day, Saturday, he left. Morning he started, I'm leaving, I'm leaving. So yeah, I was there and I postponed my trip. So that day I cried so much, and I felt like some energies are around me, that nature energy was around me. I couldn't understand, I couldn't see anyone except the nature. So I was so happy that I'm there with him. But he gave us strength, but I cried so much. I was the most cried in my family. um, because yes, that is the love, and we have to care. And also not like a sad, but it's also like a happy, like what a great person he was. I could remember all his greatness, his strength, his bravery. He was a military man, he served in military. So I could remember all those things, and I would see like, whom did you give, are you giving those things and living? So then onwards I thought, yes, I will walk in his path, whatever he showed, even though I was walking. But that day, those his qualities imprinted in me. So if I have love, and I want to keep my dad's in me, then I have to walk in his path. So that day I made myself, it just instinctively came in my mind. And so he was very cleanly, so I would clean first, and then he is so organized first. So that came, that's so beautiful, right? So that's why if you love someone and you lose, what are you going to do next? You just walk in their path, and that's the only gratitude, and that's the only way you remember, not losing all those good qualities. So yeah, so that made, like, it was, I was like only there only few days, that pain, but I was able to come out of it very quickly. Nobody could I couldn't imagine, like, it was very cakewalk for me. When so many my friends and everybody asked, so because of meditation it was easy for you? And yes, it was super easy for me to come out, accept it. So same thing, like, Patrice sir also, like 3 days it was going inside. We couldn't, we are in the meditators, we couldn't express, right? But it is always good to express, right? So I would send messages to, in a group, see, I'm going through these things and all. So, we all shared a little bit through messages. I meditated a lot. Since then, he was very close to me. Even I got, like, I think before, couple of days before I got in my meditation, that I saw some dead body, like some old dead body. Just it appeared and it went, just like a age. Then I thought, oh my gosh, why did I see this dead body? Something is going to happen. I know, because otherwise it was no reason. It just came and went past me. Then I was like, just quiet, I just like, then maybe that might be the indication or something. I don't know. After 2 or 3 days later, I heard about Patrice sir, and he came after that also. He came in my med. He had got so much energies, because we sit and we were recollecting his things, and he loves meditators, so we meditate. So he's there always. And he also, next day also, came in my dream. He was sitting, couple of times came, actually 3-4 times he came, again and again, just sitting. So because, yeah, I met him, I was fortunate to meet him, like 2 years ago, when I was in India. And I saw him. He was just leaving. So I took his blessing. He gave, first thing he did is like shake hand. Then I couldn't stand without taking his blessings, right? So I took a bow down and took his blessings. Glad he didn't say anything. So that was a beautiful. And he asked me, where are you from? Alabama? Then yes, you will change Alabama. You will change all US, he said. Those words are still in me, imprinted. Those time I thought, oh my gosh, how can I change alone? I thought. But now I feel, yes, when Patricia sir changed everyone, why can't we change, right? That is the universal. Universe is with us and Patriji sir is with us. So that is the strength. Every time I go to those words, why, he's a master, it's so easily told, because he knows that this has to happen. It's a truth, and it's for everybody's benefit. We are not doing selfishness, right? So yes, ma'am, that is my experience. It's a beautiful journey. So now when my dad passed away, he was close to my heart, and now I lost our guru. He's very, very close to us. Just he's sitting beside us. So whatever you want, you can do now. Earlier, like physical form, it's a little bit different to take that, but now it's 100% he's with us. Beside whoever sits and think he's with them, yes, he's with them. You can talk, you can share, you can get guidance, everything. Yeah. Thank you,
Great.
Sharoo. Thank you, everyone,
Thank
for
you.
listening to me.
Thank you.
Long
Thank you,
story, but
Swarnaji. No. Thank you so much for expressing and sharing your emotions and your story as well, because it is very important that we share, so that, because we are all in this together. So I'm very, very happy that you did share. And the best thing that I felt in the entire conversation is that when you said that, the best type of gratitude that we can express to the person who has left the physical body is to continue the mission, continue the work that they probably might have left for us to continue. So I'm really, really very touched by this, because if we are able to do that, although the soul plans are always different, but if we are able to do that, if we are able to complete or finish the mission that the person has done, especially for the humanity and the entire universe, or the animal kingdom or the plant kingdom, then yes, nothing like it. So thank you so much, Varnaji. Thank you so very much for sharing. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharuji. Yes, thank you,
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you. So Mridulaji says death is a gift. Mridulaji, I
Hello,
would,
Sharuji.
Ji Ranjini ji.
I just want to make it quick. Few things that I had in mind. On that
Yes.
Thursday or Friday, I think there was a session by his daughter in UK. So I was watching that full program, and as I was listening to her, and I've been in this group only for 4 months from March 21st, and I don't know who Patriji sir is. I don't know anything about him except I have watched a few videos. And I thought I remembered something about him in one of the videos saying that he will not be there after 74 or 78. Something vaguely I remembered from the beginning, sometime in April. So as I was listening to that video, that the session that day, I'm thinking like in my mind, is Patriji 74 or 78? He said something about his death. And I was trying to recollect, and then it came 2-3 times that Thursday in my mind, what is going to happen. And we are moving back to India in October. So I'm telling myself, will Ram and Madhu be able to help me to meet him? Will they just introduce me so I could meet him? Or maybe I will not meet him. I don't know. These kind of thoughts were going in my mind just that Thursday. And the next day during your session, we got that flash message from somebody. So I was thinking like, oh, it would have been nice to have met him in person, but he was definitely on my mind, and it was coming maybe even 2 days before, not as so vivid as you people, but something about his age and whether he will be in Bangalore when I go. Those things were coming to me. So that was a very small incident, but he's definitely a great man because he has influenced somebody like me in such a short span of time.
Yes.
And like somebody said in one of the videos, whoever I talk to now, I'm talking only about meditation. I think one of Madhu's interviewers from India, they were saying he's running a business of chauffeur and he's only talking to his customers about meditation, even in a 20-minute drive.
Balrajji.
Something, yeah, like that.
Yes.
So I'm also
yes.
like, when I heard that, I felt, yeah, even I've become like that. Whoever I'm talking to, I'm telling them, do you want to come to our class, or do you want to join our group? Something
Amazing.
like they must be thinking I'm part of a cult or something, but but that is how I've become in 4 months. So he has left some deep impression in me.
Yes. Yes,
so,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it from my end.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Ranjini. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
sharing this. Thank you so much, Ranjini.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Ram sir, before we finish this session,
Mridula actually wanted to share.
Mridula ji is
Hi, Sharoo. Long time.
long time. Yes, Mridula ji, I asked whether this is because are you there or not, because there's another M who comes for the session. So I was little confused. So I just thought maybe I will listen to your voice, then I will recognize you. So how are you doing?
There's another Mridula. I think I'm the only M. Maybe there's another M. That's why I switched to M, because there's so many Mridula group. So, and plus to maintain anonymity for other reasons. But yeah, I was just listening to you. I'm not sure if I'm ready to share about the death of my father, but I've been reflecting a lot these past few months, going through all the emotions. I'm just sharing a little bit, with the dynamics, and sometimes we don't have the relationship we'd like to have with our immediate family. So there was some distance, and my parents were actually in India, and with my own health, I could not see them. So in my mind, I thought when the time came, I would not feel the loss as much, but somehow I did feel the loss. And then I started thinking about the life of my father. Not that the end has come, but his whole life, how he grew up, how he came to the United States, how he raised us. I was just thinking about his life, and that how he must have thought it's over in an instant, because my patients would tell me the same thing. Everything goes by. Sometimes they've been married to a partner for 50, 60 years, if they're married at 18 and they're in their 90s, and they say it goes like the blink of an eye. So I'm just kind of visiting all these emotions, and I'm still haven't, come to a process where I feel like I have some kind of, I wouldn't say letting go, but I would say trying to figure out what the bond was, what the bond was on this planet with my father. What was was there a duty to him and me together? Things like that. I'm just talking out loud. But also, I don't know if we can handle, all of us, if we lived on and on and on, if we didn't have an end to this life. So, and to have I do feel it's a gift. We have this, we know that the minute we're born, there is an end date. And we have these things we must do on this planet, whether we do it or not, the end date comes. So maybe that gives us a purpose. I don't know. But if we lived immortal life in this body, I don't know how we would be living that life in that duration. So I wonder if we are supposed to be in different realms and different, possibilities and dimensions to help us learn and be in a different setting and state. It's like doing the song over and over again for these singers, or doing a play over and over again. At some point, there's no more learning. So I don't know. I'm just sharing my thoughts. This is all the thoughts that are happening since my father's passing. So I wonder that. And I watched this beautiful movie just yesterday. It's called The Age of Adeline. It's a woman that in her 20s, she's in an accident and something weird happens with, how scientifically it's a fiction movie, So she doesn't age. From 1900s to 2014, she still looks like she's in her 20s. And all the people around her age, including her daughter, who looks like her grandmother. So, it just brings all these different aspects of living and life, and how we should take the meaning of this. I haven't come to any conclusion yet. I'm just sharing the thoughts that are coming. So that's why I said it's a gift, because, you know, we think the ending and we feel the loss, but we need to find different ways to have a purpose and meaning and everything. I don't think this one lifetime is enough. So
Absolutely.
I'm glad we have the death, you know, and you know, I don't know if this will be controversial, or I don't know, but this is my feeling and my, I don't feel my father's energy near me. I feel that his duty to me and whatever duty he had with my family is done.
Mm.
I feel he has moved on to his next, somebody said mission, next mission,
Mm.
whatever that may be. As a
Yes.
father, he did his best, you know. You know, we always worry that, or we always think that people, I'm getting emotional now.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
We always have this expectation from people, including our parents. But maybe they did whatever they could.
Yes.
And whatever they did, it's done. And I do believe that. I think my father did his duty, whatever he needed to do. But I don't feel like he's still there. I think he feels, I feel like, I don't know how to explain it. I feel that there's no emotion bringing him back to us. I think he did whatever he needed to do and it's done. Either he's reborn or he's went on to another dimension. I don't feel that he's around me. And that's okay. I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I'm saying that as what you call his, the only thing I can think of his duty or his mission towards me and the family he had here is complete.
It's a closure kind of a thing that you.
Yeah. So, but many people I know, you know, even though we were not together and we were distant for a while, you know, still there's a bond as a father, right? As a family, you feel this bond. You know, somehow, you know, they brought us, you know, parents bring us whatever it is to this world, and they are a connection to the world. They're first connection. And no matter what feelings we have and what expectations we have, it's, I don't know, lack of a better word, it's very trivial, you know, in the setting of how all of it processes. So I'm also aging. Obviously, my father was 83. And so at this point in life, you know, you think, you know, when we're born, we don't come with anything. We're born, somebody gives us a name, somebody raises us, somebody gives us clothes, the house, everything. And then we accumulate all these things, and sometimes it's actually a burden. And then we go. But I feel like my father left as he came. I feel like he left that way. As you said, like it was complete closure. And I find that it took me a few months to, you know, sort this out. And I had visions, I had dreams, but I feel like that. I don't feel like he's an angel watching. I don't feel like he's there in my realm. I feel like his duty to this whatever he had to do with us is complete. And I don't think of that as a negative thing. And this is my feeling and how I'm feeling. Now, when my grandmother passed away about in the 90s, she passed away, I think in 93. I felt her leave. I felt her communicate with me even before I heard the news. I felt that she's gone. And I feel her presence. So I don't know why I feel her presence. Even today, I feel her. But with my father, I feel like maybe he was a more advanced soul. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I have no answer for that. But with my grandmother, I do feel like, you know, but she's the one that raised me the first 6 years of my life. So I don't know why I have that feeling with her and not my father, you know, which is but it's just a feeling. So anyway, those are my thoughts for now. I'll share more when I can process, have words. But, you know, when you're talking about death today, that's the only thing that came to my mind is a gift. And if you ever, this beautiful movie, it's called The Age of Adeline. And it shows the struggle of not being able to age when somebody around ages you and passes on also, you know? So it's a different perspective of thinking.
Wow.
Yeah. And we will feel the loss. We will feel the loss because they're not, you know, just like we miss, you know, when you're a child. I remember when my parents first came to Bronx, New York, I made all these friends and then we moved to Minnesota. I miss them. It's a loss and time, and this is a permanent loss. So we will have the emotion of loss. We'll, you know, but you know, in life we come to terms with that. We accept it. We hold it in our hearts. It's going to leave us. I'm 58. I'm still remembering the loss of my grade school friends because I never took their phone number. You know, so I don't think it ever leaves us. It just becomes a part of us, you know. So, and then we, you know, live to whatever life, the best of our ability to live this life. So that's it, Sharoo. I don't know.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, I'm so grateful that you could come forward and share. And I'm so happy that at least, even if I don't know whether you, you know, you're accepting it as a closure or not, but yes, you have got closure. And I know so many people who haven't yet gotten the closure of, and they're not able to come out of the death of their loved ones from this loss because they need closure. But you know, I'm grateful that you talked about death as a gift. I'm grateful that you talked about this closure that you had with your you know, father. So I'm so happy and I'm so glad that you could come and share. Thank you so much, Mridulaji. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I have closure. I have complete closure with my father, but
but you're still seeking for the answers still.
No, I'm thinking, could I have done things differently over the life? That's what I'm thinking. I'm not thinking, you know, of the loss, or, you know, I know I'm going to have those feelings, but I'm going through all the things he did. And so far, I think, like I said, he did his duty. I don't have any feeling of not accepting, or I don't have any of this feeling that he did something wrong. He could have done more. He didn't do enough, or I didn't feel the love. You know, every time, like yesterday, I was having corn, and my dad used to make this corn with butter, you know, like the Indian way. You know, I didn't grow up in India, but he would put it on the stove and grill it and put all this stuff. I mean, he was showing love in so many ways. I'm remembering those kind of things. So there is acceptance, but I'm thinking, you know, going back and thinking, was there more? But there isn't any more. Everything happened as good. So I'm still, you know, I don't want to lose the memory. I'm still trying to, like this, when I have the corn, he used to make, you know, things for us. And he used to love music. So, you know, I don't understand Indian music at all, but because I would listen, he would have it on in the car all the time, Hindi and Telugu and I don't know what other languages. But I got to be fond of that. So I'm just in remembering right now. That's why I hesitate, because I don't have the complete realm, you know, like it's still going on in my mind of his life. The mourning, I don't think I feel the loss, but I don't feel the mourning anymore, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Thank you. But I'm going to remember your words. Death is a gift. So I'm going to remember that. Yes.
It is, Sharoo. I really that now. After only after father's passing, I realized I didn't realize this before. So
thank you. Thank you so much, Mudulaji. Thank you so much that you could come here and share your wonderful, wonderful experience. So much. Thank you so much. So, Madhukaru is here. Hello. Yes.
Hi, Sharoo. Good to see you
Hi.
after a long time.
Yes, 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 yes. Me too. After longest of the time, I think.
Yes, yes. So it's really very important topic that you have chosen to share with all of us. And my experience regarding that is, as we've been hearing from past 10 days about Patriji's, you know, going to the other worlds. I think he has been preparing all of us from the start. He has been preparing all of us.
Madhukaru, your voice is not very clear. It's little muffled. It's not very clear.
Let me put this. Yeah.
Am I audible now? Perfect. So I think Sir has been preparing all of us from couple of years, and as we all know that last year we had done this enlightenment on no death, and that 49 days was really a gift for each one of us, so that we got to learn a lot of things, and now is the time for us to implement, isn't it, Sharo? Right? So in that enlightenment hour, the last day on the closing session, Patriji spoke about death, like death is a choice, like it's like if I want to vacate my body now, it's my choice.
Yes.
And we all
Yes.
have to accept it. And for many people, it has been really difficult to understand that he's not there. But for me, I felt like it's like Krishna consciousness or Christ consciousness. So when we connect to that consciousness, then where is he gone? He's everywhere, right? So, and the only part that I miss with Patriji is like making phone calls and giving the updates. This is what is happening and all. But apart from that, everything is fine, and we don't now require a phone call to call Patriji. We don't need to take appointments. Like we can just directly speak, and then he's just listening and he's just guiding. So we
True.
have to connect to that. And for us, it was not a shock. For us, it was very normal, and we have accepted it. We have prepared ourselves from long time, and it's really a celebration, and I'm sure he's celebrating in the other worlds. All the masters, the masters from Nanda sir and Shastri uncle and many other masters had left before to receive him. Like now they're all celebrating, and someone, and he also said one more beautiful thing, that someone's loss is someone else's gain. Your loss here is somebody is gaining. In that way, you are also gaining, right? He's happy. You're the person who you miss is happy there. And the more we
True.
cry for that person, the more we think about that person, we are caging them. This is also he said in that enlightenment hour,
True.
or
True.
the
True.
enlightenment or no death session. He said that why we have to cage that soul, and these many masters have been thinking about him, crying about him. So it's like caging him, and surely he doesn't like us to cry for all these things, because he prepared all of us. That's why we are all masters. So
True.
it's nice. It brings a smile in my
Yes.
face, and I just think about him. There is
True.
no separation. He's always there. And just 2 days before he passing over, there was a very very strong dream that came to me, that we communicate in the dreams as well. Very strong dream that I was just walking in some street. It's a very small street, and there's so big glass windows to every house. And when I was walking there, I just turned my left and I saw Patriji reading a book, from the glass window. And he's like a Hanuman, like in very long back, there was a picture of Hanuman that came out that he's reading book like this, like there was one picture that came out. So looking at Patriji it was the same feeling. Oh, Patriji is here and he's just like Hanuman and he's reading the book. I was so happy. And it was that feeling that everybody kept secret, like we were all not knowing where he is. So we want to meet him, but we don't know where he is. So it was like looking at him there. It was really a happy feeling, and I really didn't want to disturb him. I just wanted to watch him. That's it. And then after a minute, he looked at me and from where he is, from inside, and he said, "Oh, you are here!" And like that happy feeling, he ran to the door and he opened the door and he said, "Come in." I said, "Ram, Ram, come, sir is here. He's calling us." So we both went in and we had spent good time. And after 2 days, we realized that okay, so it's we already bid our farewell to him in a dream state. So it was very happy feeling, and it was like at 3 or 3:15 in the morning, as if somebody woke me up. Somebody woke me up. I went to bathroom and then I came back, and then right after I closed my eyes, I saw this. So I think not thinking, it's sure that everybody whoever have passed over, they're all there. It's just that we don't have that eyes to see them. That's why Patri sir insists everybody to meditate, because the more we meditate, we don't see only with the physical eyes. We see from the inner eye. From the inner eye, we can see everything clearly.
True.
So it's just that we have to meditate more and more to experience that. So there should be no grief, no crying, no grief. It's just happy. Just enjoy. And I'm sure, as you said, Charu, when we go there, when we go up there, he will welcome all of
He's
us.
going to be
Swagat,
there.
Swagat,
Yeah, exactly. That's what he said, no, to me, that, I'm going to wait for you,
Yes.
So I said, I told him that I'm not going to miss you. So he said that's fine. You come over here and I'm going to be there for you. So
Yeah.
it's like, he's going to be there when I go there, or whenever we all go there.
Yeah,
So he's
true.
going to be there to
Yes.
receive us.
Yes, for
So
sure.
yeah, it's a wonderful feeling. And the best thing, the word that I loved was just like Krishna consciousness is Patri consciousness. So
See?
it's like love that
Patri
word.
sir
Yeah.
consciousness. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
That's
It's
it.
like we should never think only physical. It's limiting, right? He always speaks
True.
about the big eye. So
True.
the small eye is just limiting only to the physical body and everything. We have to connect to that big eye. Big eye is nothing but that consciousness.
True.
So yeah, he's just smile. That's it. Like
Yeah.
not only with Patriji, for anybody
For anybody.
whom we
Yes.
miss, like whom we feel that there is a separation. Understand that there is no separation. We can never be separated. We are all one. It's just that they have chosen to vacate early, and we will go later, and we will all meet there.
True.
So it's not like the end. No, it's never the end. There is no end actually.
Yeah. So we all are going to gather up there as a soul family again, a bigger
Yes.
one. So yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
thank you so much.
beautiful. Beautiful, Madhuji, beautiful. Exactly. So one incident reminded me just now, like I was in this meditation, right? After Sir passing away, like 2, 3 days after that, I was sitting in the meditation and then invited a Sir and told him, "Sir, can you please guide us and guide us and give your energies?" Then immediately I got like Sir's voice, like confirmed. So how he says, right? So confident voice came. It's so that word I got, and then I saw Sir is going in the in the chariot going into the heavens. So immediately, then I thought, oh, okay, that is the Sir's voice. I was like so happy as soon as I said, "Can you please guide us, be with us?" Then that confirmed. So yeah, and the only thing I can think, like he showed everything. He taught us everything, whatever
he could, and whatever is existed here, right? Then the last thing he has to show is the death. That is the only last thing that he can show on this physical world, and he showed us. So that also he taught us. So that is the only thing, he thought, yeah, I have done whatever I could. Then I have to show something else too, right? That is, death is the last lesson that he needs to show us and take us through. So then this journey is complete. So that's what he did to us. So that is also a lesson. He always talks about death. No death. Why are you fear? Why are you fear? So he showed us that. So beautiful, man. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I would like to also add here, Sharoo, that, Sir's vacating now or Sir's leaving now to the other dimensions is to make us all independent. We have to clearly understand that. Otherwise, before we all, I hear everybody calling Sir and taking confirmations. So when he is already residing in us, so why we need confirmations? Whatever our heart is calling for, we have to do it. And we should never doubt whether it is going in the right direction or not. We just have to do it. And he made us independent. He says, you have to decide for your own self. And now I think for each one of us, it is our responsibility that we give some rest to him now. In the other worlds as well, let him do the other things, as he made us all independent. So we will work with our higher self to fulfill his and our mission, everyone's mission.
True, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with that. I absolutely agree. We don't have to wait for his approval. So he has already given us everything. So we just have to implement that. Yeah.
Yes. It's like like we go to the temple, like, God, is it am I doing right or wrong? Then why we have to ask again, Patriji, should I go in this way or that way? Again, it's like, you are making him God, whereas he told that everybody is a God. You are a God yourself. So just recognize that. So now he's not here. So we have to become independent gods to take our own choices. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
Thank you, Sharoo. Yeah.
Thank you, Madhugaru. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So thank you, everyone. It was a lovely, lovely session. Although there are only now few people left, I cannot thank everyone. But yes, whosoever is listening, thank you so much for joining us. I would love to continue these sessions where, on death. So if there is still any question that remains and that keeps bothering, about death, this word. So me, Madhugaru and Ramgaru, we all are here and all you masters are here. So we can just discuss it. We can, clear the air about this word, and we can just discuss so many and learn so much more from the experiences of people. So I would request Madhugaru and Ramgaru to again send in this text, on the in the group in the meditation family. So so we will continue here again next Friday again. This will be the same topic. So if there is anybody who wants to discuss something and they still are going through something with the death, then we all are here to help that person to get out of it. So we can do that. Is it okay, Madhugaru?
Yes, Sharoo.
Okay.
We have to do that.
Yes. So we're going to do that. So with this death, the series, it's again a continuation. So like Sir said, no death. So there is no death. So we are going to continue this for some time. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Madhugaru. Thank you so much, Ramgaru. Thank you so much, everyone. Shukriya for being here. Thank you, and have a beautiful weekend ahead. Thank you so much. Bye-bye and good night.
Thank you, Sharuji.
Thank you, Sharuji.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Good night.
Good night.